Well, hello, friends. I pray God's greatest blessings on you today. It's the beginning of a brand new week. It's Monday. We had such a great time in the house of God yesterday. God just moved in a mighty way. We saw two souls come to faith in Jesus Christ yesterday, and a host of others just recommitting themselves to their daily faith in God. And so on this new week of Take 5 devotions, we are going to be dealing with the subject that I think is essential to what was happening in church yesterday and essential to what we talked about last week. And it's actually the same title. We don't have anything different. It's just simply called Faith Like Noah. And I believe that there is an example that's given us by Noah's faith when you look at it as complete as possible. As an example given us by Noah's faith that causes us to understand that's the kind of faith we need in the day that we live in today. Jesus told us that we're living in two parallel worlds, and we're going to read that in just a minute. Things that were happening then are happening today, and Noah's faith was what he needed for him to endure the times that he lived in, and for him to find grace in the eyes of God so that God made a way for his family to be delivered through the ark. And that's the faith that we need today. So I want to pick up a passage of scripture from Matthew 24 and look at these two parallel worlds, the day of Noah and where we are today, and see if we can glean some truth from this. Now, Matthew 24, the disciples have come to Jesus with a question. And they're asking him, Lord, what is going to be the signs of your coming and the end of the age that we live in now? And so Jesus begins to give them some signs that they can look forward to. He said, first of all, don't be deceived. There are going to be many Christs that will come in my name. Don't listen to them. They're false Christs. He said, you're going to hear of wars and rumors of wars. Nation will rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom. There'll be earthquakes and plagues and famines in various places. He said that all of these things are just the beginning of birth pains. And he goes on and he lists some other things that they can expect to see. And by the time he gets to verse 36, in answer to their question, what is the sign of your coming and the end of the age? When is this going to happen? Jesus says, but of that day and hour, no one knows, not even the angels in heaven, but my Father only. But as the days of Noah were, so also will the coming of the Son of Man be. See the two parallel worlds there? For as in the days before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage until the day that Noah entered the ark, and did not know until the flood came and took them all away, so also will be the coming of the Son of Man. Now, if there were to be a subtitle to this, and there's not, but if there were to be one, it would be this: as it was in the days of Noah, so will it be at the time of the coming of the Son of Man. All of that just to prove that the world we live in now is exactly like the world of that day. And that's even the more reason that we need to model the faith of old brother Noah, because the faith that he had endured. It was enough. It's what God was looking for, and that's what we should be striving to exhibit in our life today. Now, Noah lived in this age when men were growing evil continually and constantly turning their hearts and minds away from God. This period was called the antediluvian age. It lasted for about 15 or 1600 years from the time of creation with Adam and Eve there up until the time of the great flood, when everything on earth was destroyed except Noah and his family. Now in verse 38 and 39 of our text, Jesus used a seemingly peculiar phrase. He said, as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be at the coming of the Son of Man. So we find Jesus 2,500 years after the flood telling all of humanity that the events prior to the flood are a picture of the events that will be happening in the future when He returns. destruction by the flood, the building of the ark, and the mindset of the people during those days of Noah, they're all a type and foreshadowing of events that would come to pass. That verifies Jesus saying, as it was, so will it be. The destruction of the earth by the flood was nothing more than a foreshadowing of the final judgment of God by fire on this earth. As it was, so will it be. The ark was a foreshadowing of the salvation that would come through Jesus Christ. As Noah's family was spared destruction because they were in the ark, so people today can be saved from the destruction if they are in Jesus Christ. As it was, so will it be. The mindset and the actions that we read about of the people before the flood, Jesus said, would be typical of the mindset and the actions and the heart of people before the return of the Lord. As it was, so will it be. So this is what we need to grasp more than any other time. If these are going to be the same, if these two times and two ages and two periods, if they are parallel, if the mindset of the people, if evil is the same in both, as it was in Noah's day, it will be at the time of the return of the Lord, then I think what we need to grasp from that period is the faith that Noah had, because the faith that Noah had pleased God, and the Bible said without faith it's impossible to please God. The faith that Noah had was complete. It pleased God. Noah had faith in God's righteousness. He had faith in God's judgment. He had faith that God could do the impossible, and that drove him to have a holy fear of God. That's why he built the ark. That's why he put his family in it. That's why he did everything just like God said, because he believed that God would do what he said he would do. That's the faith that you and I need today. Because God is going to do what he said he's going to do. If he judged this world once, he's going to judge it again. If the story of Noah is anything, it is proof that God is going to do what he said he's going to do. He will save the righteous and he will judge the unrighteous, but he will provide an ark of safety that all can and may get in by faith if they will just submit to his word and put their faith in Jesus Christ. So that's what we're going to talk about this week. Try to answer some questions about some things that we may have there. And maybe we can glean a little insight from this idea that Jesus is talking about. As it was in the days of Noah, so it will be at the time of the return of the Son of Man. Well, hey, I got to get out of here. It's been good being with you today. I pray you have a blessed day today. I look forward to being with you tomorrow on Tuesday's edition of Take 5. Until then, God bless you. Have a great day.